Good evening, and welcome to the May 28th, 2024 regular session meeting of City Council. If you are here tonight and would like to address council, please register with staff in the lobby. Please indicate items I for matters that are germane to City Council. Light system is going to be 3 minutes. After stating your name and address, the green light will appear. After 2 minutes, you will see a yellow light. After 3 minutes, you will see a red light. At that time, take your seat. Written remarks may be handed to the city clerk to be made a part of the record. The city code identifies the procedure for participation regarding items on tonight's agenda and provides the opportunity for citizens to address City Council on matters that are germane to council. Matters that are germane to council means that matters that the City Council by law is empowered to act upon. Copies of this ordinance regarding participation can be found at the desk in the lobby. At this time, please silence your phones. Prior to beginning the business portion of the meeting, we will have Councilman Harris provide an invocation to the council. Afterwards, Councilman Woodbury will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. It is the practice of this council to stand for the invocation and pledge. Those who also wish to stand are welcome, but under no obligation to do so. Thank you.
Let us pray. Father, on tonight we thank you once again for allowing us to convene and conduct the business of our city on tonight in an orderly and understanding manner. We ask that you continue to bless each and every person that continues to reside in our city and beyond, and all those who work so hard to keep our city running and moving and operating in a manner of excellence. We ask right now that you be with us on tonight, that everything will be done in decency and in order, that you will continue to keep your hedge fence of protection around us, that everyone will remain safe throughout our city, and continue to be blessed each and every day. In your son's name we pray, we say amen.
Amen. Please join me in honoring our country's flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If I could have City Council join me at the podium. Alan. Multiple scripts, so just give me. So tonight I have the pleasure of issuing a proclamation to some talented collegiate student athletes. I would like to begin by inviting the members of the Newport News Apprentice School men's basketball team, as well as their coaches, leadership, and AD to the front. We'll clap. On after. No, you come right here. Yeah, just come in the well deck. Just filter it in. So earlier this year, the Newport News Apprentice School men's basketball team earned the 2023-2024 United States Collegiate Athletic Association Division I National Basketball Championship, the school's third national men's basketball title. So, whereas the Newport News Apprentice School men's basketball team has achieved remarkable success in their 2023-2024 season, culminating in their victory as the United States Collegiate Athletic Association, so that's a mouthful, Division I national champions, and whereas throughout the season the team has demonstrated exceptional skill, dedication, and sportsmanship, achieving a remarkable 25-5 record, an impressive 5-2 record in the New South Athletic Conference play, and whereas the team's journey to national championship was marked by their performance in the Small College National Championship, where they emerged as the undisputed champions on March 13th with a 73-68 victory, and whereas The team's accomplishments have brought great pride and honor to the city of Newport News, showcasing the talent and skill of our community on a national stage. Now, therefore, I, Philip Jones, Mayor of the City of Newport News, hereby proclaim that the 2023-2024 Newport News Apprentice School men's basketball team shall be honored for their remarkable achievements, dedication, teamwork, and sportsmanship. The City of Newport News commends the athletes along with their coaches, their families, and fans for all of their collective efforts, resulting in the school's third United States Collegiate Athletic Men's Basketball Championship. Let's give this incredible team a round of applause. So we'll scoot over here. If I could have Tina and the Vice can stand by the sign. Is that correct? I'm doing the right thing? All right. So, wait till I give you the thing. So now that we've done all of that, we have great news to share. We would like to go big. We want everyone in Newport News to recognize your achievements. I'm proud to share what we created for our city roads. So to commemorate your win, we also have some gifts for you in the City Hall lobby. Before I let you go, we're going to do some photos, so let's gather around. Let's try to skew it to that side. We'll have you right here. Just shift it over. Actually, no, you're right. All right. Come over here. And to get tight, everybody get tight. Gotta get right here.
Somebody's nipping.
Alan, get here. Make sure.
Too short.
All right, everyone. We're gonna look at Ari. Do it.
And I generally just, well, you know, you've watched it. I call the roll, but you get to. So, like you say, it's fast.
Stole me away from it.
I saw that. I saw that.
Oh yeah, don't forget that.
Yeah, I see that.
It was a good game too. I went to the game. Go see.
Why? And I was at the game. That's why. Some school in like Weirdoville, USA.
All right. We good? Council? Okay. Public hearings, page 4. Item E1 is a request for City Council to approve a resolution approving plan amendment PLN-2024-002, which adopts the Stony Run Master Park Plan update for the City of Newport News. The City Manager recommends approval. Are there any speakers?
No, sir.
Motion to close public hearing.
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mayor Jones,
4.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vick,
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany,
4.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Motion to approve the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mayor Jones,
4.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vick,
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany,
4.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Page 143, item E2 is a request to adopt an ordinance authorizing and directing the city manager to execute any and all documents, including deeds, necessary to effectuate the conveyance of city-owned property located at 1324 25th Street to Premier One Investments, 757 LLC. The city manager recommends approval. Are there any speakers?
No, sir.
Motion to close public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mayor Jones,
4.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vick,
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany,
4.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Motion to adopt the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vick,
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany,
4.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Page 147, item E3 is a request to adopt an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute all documents necessary to make offers to acquire by purchase or condemnation property for the Denby Boulevard and Orana Road ADA Improvement Project. The city manager recommends approval. Are there any speakers?
No, sir.
Motion to close public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick,
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany,
4.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Motion to adopt the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vick,
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany,
4.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Consent agenda. Item F contains the following items. Page 154, minutes of the work session of May 14th, 2024. Page 196, minutes of the regular meeting of page 14th, 2024. Page 227, resolution authorizing and approving the Newport News Emergency Operations Plan and directing the city manager to take action necessary to implement the plan. Page 266, resolution changing the location of the regular city council meetings of July 2nd and August 13th. Motion to approve the consent agenda, item F1 through F4, all inclusive.
Motion. So moved.
So moved?
Second.
Yep, moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vick,
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany,
4.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Next on our agenda, other city council actions, page 269, item G1-1. Mr. Manager.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of City Council. Item G1 is a request to approve a resolution authorizing and directing the city manager to execute an affiliation agreement with Riverside Healthcare Association Incorporated and such other documents as are necessary to effectuate an intergovernmental transfer of funds from the city to the Virginia Department of Medical Assistance Services to support supplemental Medicaid payments to Riverside. In 2023, the General Assembly authorized the Department of Medical Assistance Services to develop a Medicaid intergovernmental transfer program, which allows municipalities to make voluntary contributions or transfers to the Department of Medical Assistance Services, the state's Medicaid agency. The states use the local contributions to leverage additional federal Medicaid matching dollars for private hospitals. These public-private partnerships provide localities an opportunity to implement or expand critical access programs for underserved segments of our community. Through a partnership with Riverside, we have identified several programs to address critical health needs and promote access to care and violence prevention for its patient population across the city. These programs closely align with the strategy and mission of Riverside and a shared desire of the city to increase access to care for the underserved population in the Riverside primary service area. I recommend approval.
Please let the record show that I will be abstaining because my wife is an employee of Riverside Healthcare Systems. I'll let the Vice Mayor handle this one.
Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I have some, Mr. Vice Mayor. I just want to thank the city manager and Riverside for always being innovative to make sure citizens throughout our community have equal access to health care, as well as programs like this, especially with mental health. It makes it so much easier and better for our citizens. So thank you, city manager, Riverside, and the staff who all made this happen.
Call the roll, please.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vick,
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany,
4.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris.
4.
And I know you say
Abstain.
motion carries 6-0 with one abstention.
Appropriations, page 283, appropriations, item H. Mr. Manager.
We have two appropriations this evening. The first appropriation is a request to approve a resolution reallocating $435,000 from previously appropriated FY 2023 bond fund for floating docks in Newport News Park for the construction of a new ranger station and restrooms in Deer Park. The second appropriation is a request to approve a resolution appropriating $1,380,000 from the fiscal year FY 2022 bond authorization for survey, permitting, the development of construction documents, and site improvements at Stony Run Park. The Newport News City Council previously appropriated $250,000 from the FY 2020 bond authorization to update the 1998 Stony Run Park Master Plan and align developments within the park and future access to landfill property with the current needs and desires of the Newport News community. I recommend approval of the appropriations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any speakers?
No, sir.
Motion to approve item H1 and H2, all inclusive.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Citizen comments. Item I. Citizen comments on matters germane to City Council. I will call each name in the order it appears in front of me. Michael Vinson. Yeah, you can start.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Michael Benson. I am a facilitator with Let Our Voices Empower. We are a mentoring program. And just to give you a little bit about what we do, we go inside Passages Middle School and teach a program about conflict resolution, about how to regulate your emotions. We go to the detention center twice a week, speak with the same group of kids on Wednesday and a different group every Thursday. We are dedicated to ending the violence in our streets, one kid at a time, by any means that we can that is productive for them. We don't just see them in the detention. We go to court dates. When they come home, we actively try to get them jobs. We become their job liaisons. So as they learn at their young ages how to be responsible workers, we kind of take the brunt of that and try to teach them. A lot of these kids just need somebody to show them they care. And we try on a daily basis to show them that they have a chance, that it's not just to be frank, death, or jail. A lot of these kids feel like they have no hope. We do everything we can to give it to them. Every day we learn from them as much as they learn from us. And it is not just our job, but our duty. I personally feel like I was a part of our streets turning into what they were. So now I have to work 2 times as hard to turn them back to what they're supposed to be. This generation is not lost. They just need adults to show them the way. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you.
Well, can I say, I congratulate you on what you spoke about, very well said and very well put in the layman's terms of what we have to do as citizens and what you all have to do as men to be able to get the attention of these young men, young boys, to turn them into men. So I applaud what you're doing.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bertrand Howard.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Bertrand Howard, and at one time, I was all headache. Hampton and Newport News. I only have 3 minutes, so I'm gonna make it real fast. I'm also with the group Love Letting Our Voices Empower, headed by Mr. Adrian Cook. And at one time, I put my parents through hell. From the age of 10 to the age of 16, I was on juvenile probation. Met Ms. Tina Vick and PMI. She tried her best to, but it was just the streets. When the streets grab you, they grab you. In 1994, I was sentenced to 188 years in prison for robberies. Stayed in there 26 years. Was supposed to die, but fortunately, some of y'all may know Mr. Paul Taylor, or Taylor Paul, y'all may call him. Came and got me. He seen the progress, and he knew that going back to prison was not an option for me. And I don't mean going out bang bang with the cops in the street, like literally going back to prison is not an option for me. I missed 26 years of my life. Can't get them back. I'm not trying to play catch up. But I also work in Newport News Detention Center. And these kids have reformed me. When I thought I knew it all, I had everything on track. When I started going to the Newport News Detention Center, talking to those kids every Wednesday and Thursday, that's when I seen that they just need somebody to listen to them. I mean, these kids that y'all see catching all these murders, I'm seeing these kids the very next day when they come in from the murders. All the jewelry gone. All the Nikes gone. All that gone. They ain't stripped, they ain't chucked in, they ain't looking like the same person that was this with you. It's back to Jeffrey. It's not little Joe no more. I'm talking to them. And all they want to do is listen. I'd have them kids talk to us about things, or we've had those kids talk to us about things they haven't talked to their parents about. So that's my goal, and that's my ambition, like forever, is those kids. Because every one of them is a mini-me to me. And I also would like to put out there that the Newport News Detention Center does not have a females group on Wednesdays and Thursdays. We only see the boys. For whatever reason, their female group backed away from them for whatever reason. But the girls do not have a group. Their group is the staff that's that they see on a day-to-day basis. So it's kind of hard to take advice from somebody that giving you X's and whatever. You know how children get frustrated, think everybody against them is really themselves in the mirror. But yeah, so I speak highly about that because I really want them girls to get some young women in there talking about things, because they won't let us go in there. I guess it's sound because they're females or whatever. Right. But yeah, like I told you, we trying. We're trying our hardest, and then time for me to go. But
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Barbara Futrell.
Hi, I'm Barbara Futrell, and I'm here standing on behalf of my son, Jaden Futrell. I am fighting a long fight on behalf of my child. My child, I don't know if y'all remember, was assaulted for the second time at a private day school that is protected by the state. He suffered some terrible injuries. One is a long-lasting concussion that he is on brain medicine for. I have contacted multiple of you guys, including Police Chief Drew. Hopefully you keep that promise you made to me out there and you meet with me. And it wasn't just talk. Because I'm not letting this go. It needs to be some accountability. And thank you, too, for doing this for the kids. Because, again, these kids need their voices heard. Why do we have to pay our tax dollars for more jails to be built? Why isn't there any prevention services? Why aren't we putting money in our taxes and our funding into them so they could get these kids some voices and get these kids some help? Because I don't know about y'all, I don't know if you know the research, but victims like my son, who's been assaulted multiple times, most of the time they become the bully. But here I am standing tall, and I'm letting you know now, my son will not become a statistic. and I will be the voice for him. But until us as adults make changes, it's not going to be none. How do we expect kids to do this, to do that, when we're not being good examples for them? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of looking at my son saying, baby, I'm trying. And it's not about money. It's about justice. And when I'm sitting here talking to Gwen Howard and he's telling me I'm a despicable person because I just won't stop, and me and my kids won't see justice out of his office, I don't appreciate that. But I'm not going to stop until my son's voice is heard. Again, my son's name is Jaden Futrell, and I'm Barbara, and this is not going anywhere. So I want to stand up tall, and every woman, every man in here that has a child at home that has been abused by people that we trusted, don't give up. Keep fighting. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Heather Crossman.
Hi, my name is Heather Horton Crossman, and I'm so privileged to be here. Y'all treat us like we're the president or something. I'm trying not to have delusions of grandeur. I do want to read a scripture really quickly, if that would be okay. Isaiah 54:17 says, "No weapon formed against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord. This is their vindication for me, declares the Lord." We have been falsely charged by the EPA. There is nothing in writing as to what we've done, and yet we are being told to vacate a church called, but first of all, my goal would be if we could please at least have a little bit more time. I have finally got an attorney from Legal Shield who's willing to help, and that has taken a lot of time. We have been told we have till June 6th. We have nowhere to go. We're basically 100% Indian. I've called the Indian Bureau of Affairs. They said it's probably a water issue, and we have no problems with our water. We have I've actually drawn a picture. I'm not sure, you probably can't see this. This is where the church is and where we're camping, and there's an extra toilet that's a flush toilet, and there's water here, and we're very clean, and we keep all our dishes clean and all of that. So anyway, let's see, I've written down some notes here. I have a friend, his name is Lee Zion, and he's a newspaper reporter for the Daily News Record at Harrisonburg, Virginia, and I've known him for a long time. He's Jewish, and he's brilliant. And he is also just come back from the Ukraine, where he left his paper that he was purchasing to try to help there, and now has come back. He is going to do a report on Harrisonburg, Virginia, zero homelessness. And that's because the churches are allowed to do what they can do. This church, the Assembly of God Church, which is All Generations Church, has stepped up. 100% of the board we've won them over. They're happy that we're there. And so we just ask succinctly, really, that we can just stay there and can continue on. And if there's anything that we can do, if you have any ideas. And I'm not sure how this works. Do I have any more time?
Yes, ma'am. You have 2 more minutes.
Okay, sure. All right. We are in the process of becoming employed. I have really been working on that. I'm employed by Tidewater Staffing. I'm going to be starting Fire Watch pretty soon, but they just don't have jobs for that. One of the things that our church does have is there is a building that is right. Probably can't see all this, but anyway, but it's right there. We are on Warwick and Harpersville Road, and there is a building that used to be a convent, and right now they're offering, you can stay there for $300 a month, which is really awesome. So I'm in the process of doing that, and I think my time is out.
You still have one minute.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Don't worry. I'll tell you when it's the
Oh, yeah, I
end.
won't want to be disrespectful, think I'm the president or something. Anyway, my main problem is I see a lot of bullying in Newport News. I was hit very hard by a car. The gentleman, the person, who I think is a gamer, probably plays a game where you get points where you hit people. Anyway, he actually told me that he put his foot on the accelerator when he saw me. I've been basically paralyzed for about a month when this happened, having to go to the hospital every day. And so I'm just now together. There's no drug problems amongst us. That's not why we're in the situation. I see 100% pretty much of people, Indians, who have just been really abused. So stop the bullying, and thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Haywood Barnes.
Excuse me. Honorable Mayor Jones, Vice Mayor Bethany, City Council, thank you for this opportunity. My name is Hayward Barnes Jr., and I specify that because my daddy gave me his first name and his last name. What I deal with is I work with the young men. 1997, January, we started a program at the Newport News City Prison Farm, and all our concern was, could we make a difference in one young man's life? And I come tonight to Thrive. When I read the article on Thrive, I noticed something. There are 6 letters. Each of them have an underscore except one, H. That is our responsibility as men, as dads, as co-workers or whatever, is to transform the hearts of the young people to the place that they should be. We have worked tirelessly throughout the years from 1997 up to now. Dr. Kilgore invited us into Woodside, which was our first school, to do mentoring for dads, that young men that had crossed over the line become dads. Then the next year she said, let's mentor all the boys so they will not become dads too early. That went on for a few years till a nephew said, you like to deal with men, but the All-Pro Dad Breakfast with Tony Dungy is what you need to do. So we started our All-Pro Dad Breakfast. Dr. Mitchell, this school year, said she'd like to have all of her schools have an All-Pro Dad Breakfast. I was in the military, and when the commander speaks, I say, yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. We have, at this time, 23 of the 46 schools. That is one alternative school and one Christian school. My goal is to take Thrive and transform the hearts of the dads, change the hearts of the dads back to the children and the hearts of the children back to the dads, that we might be able to live in a community that I grew up in, where everybody cared about each other. Aunt Mary was no kin to me, but she still was my parent. Uncle John was no kin to me, but he still was my parent. So with Thrive, the H, transforming hearts, that is what we do. In the schools, as we do the All-Pro Dad Breakfast, when the dads come in with their child, we have the breakfast ready. They sit at the table, they eat the breakfast with the children and other dads. When the 20 minutes or so have passed, then the best part, when a dad stands up and say, my name is, and say, I'm proud of, that is precious. I've seen a dad cry like a baby because his emotion was so great toward his son, because there was a son at that time. So to you tonight, all I plead for is support us, that we might make a difference in Newport News, the place I've lived for over 40 years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Adrian Cook.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Adrian Cook. I gave a packet out. I hope all of y'all have received it. Most of y'all in some capacity know me, kind of know what I do. But that's also the reason I'm here today. A lot of times, the work that I do is equated only to me. But this logo is the brand. It's what we do every day. It's what we live. Y'all heard from two of the guys that actually work with me, and y'all will hear from another one, which is actually my son also. I was told we don't tell our story enough. And I remember coming here when I first came home and I first started this work, and we was asking for funds, and we kind of got Red to Riot Act. But instead of me taking it personal, I listened to what was said. And the city council members didn't know who we were. That was over 5 years ago. But I stand here today to say that y'all funded us. The first time that we were awarded a grant, I was laying on the couch when I seen the email. And I broke down in tears. Man, the work that we do, man, is precious. It's serious. And we mean business. We don't come here to play. And the reason why it's hard for me to tell my story, because I can't take pictures of the stuff that we do. Some of the stuff that we see and hear from these kids, what they're dealing with, I can't put that out there. But I want y'all to know that y'all dollars are not going in vain. We are tirelessly out here every single day. I alone gave out $20,000 worth of cash apps alone last year to these kids to make sure they don't go and harm nobody because they need $10. I want y'all to know there's some letters in here from detention. There's a letter in here from Passage Middle School. It's actually from last year, but we still working there this year, and we're going to continue to go on in there. But the contact person is still the same, so that's why I wanted that in there. There's a table of contents for our curriculum. But I want y'all to know, man, my son, who's going to speak at some point in time here, was shot at trying to take some kids to make music. My son never lived that life. I did. And for an hour, I didn't know if he was living or if he was dead. And because he never lived that life, I asked him, I said, you sure you want to do this? And he doubled down and said, Dad, we got to. They need us. So I just want y'all to know that y'all will hear from us. We will continue to tell y'all what we're doing, and we will make sure that that funding that y'all gave us don't go unnoticed. We're going to change this city. I promise y'all that.
Mr. Cook, could you come back to the microphone? What I would just say is this council sees you. I remember a few months ago, Chief Drew called me and said that there was going to be a potential shooting at a football game. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I remember at that night, it was me, it was Chief, and it was you. We walked that whole night, right? We see you. Thank you.
And I want to say this. Mike was also there. Vertron was also there. It's never just me. It's always us.
Thank you, sir. Darian Johnson Cook.
Good evening. How you guys doing today? Okay, so just to let you guys know, I am also a part of the Let Our Voices Empower program. Understand that this work that we do is very real. I was the one that was shot at. And the kids that I was with, I made sure that they got to safety before anything. Because I understood that the mission was to make sure that they knew they were safe. Beyond that, the subdivision that I do music. That's why we were there. These kids want to express themselves. But not only that, they get confused by the influences that they are surrounded by. The music that they listen to, I grew up to it. I know the influence that it has. I know the peers that also influence them as well. And what I want to do with our program is I want to change how they view music. I want them to tell their story, not the story of the one that they see around them. Because a lot of these kids, when you meet them on the surface level, you see the outside, what the outside world has done to them. But when you get around them enough, and they know that you care, and they show you who they are, they show you what their real story is. That story needs to be told. Me, myself, I grew up without my father for about 18 years. Altogether, he went to prison. I've always wanted to do this work. I've been doing it, my title will tell you I've probably been doing it for about a year. But I think I've been doing this since I was born. Anybody I see that needs help, I'll be there for them. I get that from my father. I get that from my mother as well. We're here for the kids in the city. I want you guys to see us. I'm just trying to introduce myself and let you know that we're going to make change. This is not a we think. We are making change. The kids, I had a kid that when I first met him, constantly in trouble with the police. Environment was rough. Not but 2 weeks ago did he just pass his GED. When we went into court, they said that they didn't know if he was going to be sent up to juvie or not because they didn't think he would make it. He had 90 days to prepare for that one violation. He made it all the way to his GED. And we're still going strong. We will still go strong. But I want you guys, like I said, to know we're here. Let our voices empower. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Latrina Whitfield.
Good evening. How y'all doing?
Good evening.
All righty. I'm standing in representation for mothers of gun violence. Myself, I am a mother that lost a child in 2013. So for myself to stand here today in honor of so many mothers that we continuously hear every day, just the news of somebody's life or a child's life being taken, even just today to get home and hear of the news of a 7-month-old child that was shot with a gun. So today I stand in representation of all mothers and fathers that have lost children because of this gun violence. I myself have been in Newport News all my life until moving away and coming back here in 2016. But as I stand here today, I'm glad to see that there are so many others that are here to represent and support our children. I myself work in the Hampton school system, and for the last 2 years, being able to meet these children and see the things that they go through and the attitude and the frowns on their faces because either something has happened at home or someone has said something disrespectful to them is very hurtful. I grew up believing that yes ma'am, no sir, yes ma'am. These kids are using words that we know just take you away some days. But every day as I go into the school system and meet these children, my heart cringes because they deal with so much. I had the opportunity to meet Dr. Miscallister and his wife, and they have come up with the project, the Alpha and Omega Institute for Family Services, which they work here in the city. But when I had the opportunity to meet him one day in passing in the school, he began to speak to me and tell me what their organization was about. I was glad to meet someone that has taken their time and their hard-earned money to go out and to support. A couple of weeks ago, having the opportunity to go and serve with them in some of the communities here in Newport News for Mother's Day weekend, it amazed me to see the children and the mothers and fathers run to the truck because they were excited to see them come through because they know they had gifts for them and food and the things that they needed to support their households. So today as I stand, I'm here to represent Mr. and Mrs. McScallister, as I once more want to say have been an honor to meet them. But most of all, I know that the things that they are doing in the community, they need also funding. So I stand and asking for their support and help to get the things that they need so that they can continue on with their journey, and for people like me to come along and support them. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Eric McCaskill. Some strong colors you have on, sir.
Friendship is essential.
I hear it is.
To the soul. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Familiar faces, friendly faces. And it's my honor to be here. Mr. Mayor, City Council members, Mr. City Manager, and Mr. Pilo and others. For 25 years, my wife and I, See who my wife is, purple and gold. We moved back to Newport News, our birthplace, to make a difference. And some of you might know the story about Nehemiah. The walls were down. 25 and J was not like it used to be. You could go out and play and not be concerned about gunfire. It was just incomprehensible. There was no bad news. There was always good news because we had families. As you know, there's a concern for our community and the youth, and I applaud you for the Youth Thrive Initiative. We need it. We have been committed, my wife, Dr. Linda Duchess McCaskill, and I have been committed for the last 25 years for the least, the lost, and the left behind. We have seen that what has worked in our 25 years in bringing virtues and values, removing food insecurity in marginalized neighborhoods, and reestablishing the value of the family. Our desire, which needs your funding, is to increase the number of families we reach by hiring additional staff, by increasing the number of food distribution from the food bank, and by increasing the number of family-oriented events in cooperation with local churches, of which I refer to the local churches as oasis centers. In support of this mission, one young man was supposed to speak, Ezra Gant, but Ezra is a young man who had been shot 8 times. And we connected. I met him as a young man, and we connected. Now he's a minister. We thank God for those pastors like Pastor Ben Jeter, who's right down in the Ridley redevelopment area, Choice neighborhood areas, and we have worked jointly to impact marriage retreats, youth sessions, and community events which strengthen the family. You heard from Ms. Latriana Whitfield and her plea for protection and safe communities. I want to thank Chief Drew, who has supported the PACT initiative, another initiative to create safe communities. And I'll just read a letter Chief Drew gave me permission regarding the PACT. I commend you and your organization for the hard work you do to support the police department, the youth, and communities. As you can see, the impact is made possible by multiplying resources and collaboration to maximize the impact on our community. The youth development program that we developed, created, is called the Royal Virtues Posse, where we do character development, character education, and we include parents because parents are essential for positive youth development. Respectfully, having examined our budget, funding from the Youth Thrive Initiative will allow us to make a difference in Newport News.
Yes, sir.
We have been working for 25 years to transform the stigma from bad news to Newport good news, Virginia. Together, we can do it. Yes, we can.
Thank you, sir. We will.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Ms. Angela Bozeman. Is there Angela Bozeman? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Lila Hines.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Layla Hines, and I am here to talk a little bit about my winter drive that I have put together and relaunched. First off, I am a Norfolk State student. Behold it, green and gold. I am 21 years old, and I am coming to you once again about the Miracle Project. So this project consists of collecting scarves, hats, and gloves to our homeless children in Newport News. Just a little bit of backstory about my upbringing. My family and I always have been members of helping our community, either going downtown, uptown, Newport News, or midtown. A lot of times I will find myself going with my mom or my godparents to see the different communities and different community centers that needed help. But the one that I always seen was the 4 Oaks Center and how a lot of children will be outside without the proper necessities, even without a coat. They don't have any gloves, no scarf, or no hats on their heads. That bothered me. And so I came up with this project to at least alleviate that and provide those necessities so the parents, at least, even though they don't have the proper funding to provide those things for their children, I came up with that to raise those things so they can be able to stay warm during the winter. Currently, I have a couple of flyers that I have printed out myself for more literature and more information about this project. And today I'm just asking for the city of Newport News to actually help support and also push this drive. I think it's very, very important. I do care about the children here in Newport News. I would hate to see anyone's child without anything to protect themselves during the winter time. I'm collecting scarves, hats, and gloves starting now, all the way up to November. This just gives me a kind of a wide range of how many items I will be able to provide to the children here. Thank you for your time. Once again, my name is Layla Hines. Thank you so much.
I got a quick question.
We'll go Councilman Long, then Vice, and then Councilman Vic. Oh, you're.
Yes.
Do you have any drop-off locations for viewers that are listening about your program?
Currently, I am still working on that. I spoke to my parents. I'm also going to speak to my godparents about what we can do as far as the drop-off locations. But for right now, I am trying to book a drop-off location at the Denby Community Center in Newport News, and potentially Midtown Community Center, just for people to at least be able to reach the drop-off locations accordingly.
Okay, thanks.
Absolutely.
Did I see you come up with a flyer?
Yes, sir.
Can you please make sure we get those for sure?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, okay. Any more questions?
We're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Uganda Sample Jones.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mayor Jones and council. I just wanted to come up here to say thank you so much for all of your support. We had a very successful business expo and the Choice Neighborhood Initiative. The Brooks Crossing Center, Councilwoman Vic and Councilman John came. And then Curtis came and Vic gave remarks. So it was really amazing. We had so many people that came and didn't realize that all the wonderful projects were going on downtown. Thank you for allowing us to use a trolley because we were able to give tours. And it was amazing. But I'm here in support of my brother Adrian with Let Our Voices Empower. He's amazing. And I just had to come up here and say, with the money that you have put into our youth, we really see the difference. I serve on the Newport News Neighborhood Watch Coalition, and it's really amazing each month to hear the numbers come down in our crime, and we just see the difference that groups like his are making. Every time we go into houses and help mothers with resources and housing issues, he is always in the house helping the children, and that means a lot, and we could definitely see the impact. So I just wanted to come up here and say thank you. And congratulations.
Thank you. Our next item is new business. Mr. Manager.
None, sir.
City Attorney.
Nothing, sir.
City Clerk. Councilman Woodbury.
Well, thank you all for coming down and speaking, and the passion that I've heard tonight is always wonderful. I'm glad to say that Councilman, my colleague here, and I have dried out a little bit, but we both sat in rain yesterday down at the Victory Center, and if you weren't there, you missed a lot of rain and wet, because every time we'd stand up, the seat would get all the rain on it, and then you had to sit back down in it. And I didn't think I'd ever get my trousers dry, but I had to run home and put them in the dryer. But anyway, it was a wonderful ceremony, as it always is, and I commend it to you. I've not missed one since I've been on council, and actually since I was on the school board too, because it's a wonderful tribute. The band sat under the arch for a while, but the music kept blowing away, and so they had to go inside the arch. But it was a wonderful occasion. It always is. It's always on Memorial Day, and I believe on 4th of July and Labor Day. So I commend it to you. Hopefully it won't rain like it did yesterday, but even if it does, as I said there, our troops didn't stop fighting just because it was raining. So anyway, thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Neely.
I'd like to take this time to thank all the speakers who came today. Your voices was definitely heard. It takes when community come together to express ideas and concerns to move this city forward. It feels so good to be on city council. It's exciting to see how much change we're making. And that's just not with city council. That's us working with our city staff as one team to move this city forward. I was really excited about the scarf project. I want to post it on Facebook and Instagram now to try to collect 100 scarves and hats for you. So I'm going to do that as a personal assignment to make sure, give me like 3 months, I have 100 scarves and hats for you. I will do a drive and make sure let us know the drop-off location, because that's exciting. That is a concern, I'm sure, of all of us. Adrian, you did an amazing job. It was great hearing from all of your people with Let Our Voices Empower. That's what it's all about. It's not about, a lot of times people come to what can the city council do? What can the city manager do? It's what can we do as a community? We can't no one person on this platform can change the city. It's going to take all of us putting our hard work together, working together to change this generation. So I'm excited to see so many organizations coming up, stepping to the plate and saying, what can you do, instead of saying, what can y'all do at city council? Because that's the city council. I can speak for us. We support the community, and we want to see a change in Newport News. And I have seen it's definitely being changes with the grassroots organizations as well as our police department. Crime is going down, and that's great just to see that crime is changing in Newport News. Also, I'd like to say thanks to my Uncle Charles and his friend Bob White for coming. My Uncle Charles has been in my life forever. He was the one I used to wear for every season. He made sure I went shopping and had everything I need. So, Uncle Charles, thank you for coming to my meeting. And it's hard to get Uncle Charles to come to something. He's a longshoreman. So when there's a boat in town, he don't care if it's a funeral or not, he ain't coming. Uncle Charles going to that boat. So thank you, Uncle Charles and Bob White, for coming tonight. Also, I would like to say congratulations to our mayor. He had an amazing wedding this weekend, and I was fortunate enough to be able to attend the most beautiful wedding. I thought I was at Jay-Z and Beyonce wedding. It was just beautiful. Even to the flowers, it's like, these flowers, are they real? They were real. So congratulations, Mayor Jones, and to your beautiful wife, who was definitely, it felt good to see a couple that just had so much love. And Philip was still Philip. He telling the wedding planner, okay, it's time. I'm like, Philip, relax. But it was a very great wedding, and congratulations. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Harris.
All right, and just to echo those sentiments, thank you for everyone who came out on tonight, and congratulations to you, Mayor.
Thank you.
And your beautiful bride. A couple things real quick. I just wanted to share with you in regards to the groups that came out to speak on tonight. I've had an opportunity to see each group in action. I've seen Mr. Cook and his group in the community. I've definitely seen Mr. Barnes attending some of his fatherhood breakfasts. And I've been seeing Mr. McCaskill and his wife for years out in the community doing phenomenal things. The only thing I would like to see or add, if there was a way that we could strategically put groups together instead of people operating in silos, so to speak, because everybody has their own dynamic that they bring to help enhance our community. If we could bring everybody to the table to see what we can do as a city to help partner with them in the gifts that they do have with Adrian and the youth and what he does, and Pastor Barnes and what he does with the fatherhood program, and Mr. McCaskill always being out Aqueduct and helping out the youth, and not just in Aqueduct, but I know he has a heavy presence there. What can we do to help them through our programs that we've been talking about to help our community be enhanced with their gifts that they have and that they provide? Hopefully we could strategically plan something with all the amazing grassroots groups, because this is just some that do an amazing job that people don't even know about here in our community, and hopefully we could help them even more. To Miss Hines and the Miracle Project. I've seen her since she was in high school, starting this program, and now as she's continuing to grow into what she's been called to do with this work, I'm excited about her leading in this push. And when she was talking about her godparents, she was talking about me, because, like I said, I've seen her, and hopefully I could help her what she has put together. She didn't ask me any questions. She just asked what we can do, and she came out to the city council meeting and presented. So I'm proud of you, and I'm looking forward to what you're going to do with the impact you're going to make with this program. And then we can't forget the legend that's here tonight, Mr. Pooh Johnson. When we talk about all the mentors that are here and people who have done things in the, oh, well, yeah, because he indirectly had a big impact on my life with what he did in making sure young people such as myself, way back in the day, had opportunities to get out there and do some of the things that we were gifted and blessed to be able to do. And he's played a large part of many of the young people that have grown up in the city of Newport News to be successful. So thank you for being here on tonight, Pooh, and we continue to do a lot of what we do because of what you did for us in our time as a young person. And that is all I have, Mayor, so thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Long.
I also would like to commend the organization that came out and spoke on tonight about how they're helping and serving the community. I would agree with Councilman Harris if we could figure out a way how we can join these groups together so they're not just in silos, but it's always strength in numbers. So I think that would be an excellent way for us to bring in all these different organizations that are actually doing something in the community and making a difference. I also want to say congratulations, Mayor, for your wedding this past weekend. I had the opportunity to go to Port Warwick this past Wednesday with their summer concert. Their concerts are being held starting last Wednesday all the way through the end of the summertime. It's from 6 to 9 p.m. So I encourage those that want to get out and have fun with their family. I had my daughter out there. She's 18 months, and I would tell you it was a little bit difficult because she wanted to get out and run around and kind of dance. But it was still a fun time, and I think more citizens need to know about all the different summer events that were happening across cities, not just Port Warwick, but I know the Yard District has something too as well. But I just encourage people to follow City of Newport News on social media to find out of the different events that are happening in City of Newport News, because I think this council is really interested in making sure people are having fun, have entertainment activities throughout the year. That's all I have.
Councilman Vic.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I too want to say congratulations to you and your beautiful wife. And it's so nice to be able to serve on a council where we do have a wedding. We did have a wedding. And so I want to thank all of you for coming here tonight, particularly, of course, Marcellus just talked about Pooh Johnson. But Mr. Johnson, you have been such an idol, an icon in our Hampton Roads area. I won't just say Newport News, but the Hampton Roads area, of so many of the lives that you actually touched to be able to prosper. So I count it all joy to be able to see you here tonight. And on a sad note, one of my young people that I worked with when she was a teenager, her family still lives in Newport News, but her mother passed away. Tanya Canada, I want to give condolences to the family. Your mom, Carrie Canada, they lived in Stewart Gardens, and she passed away, and the services will be on Friday here at Carter Funeral Home. So my condolences to the Canada family. And on another note, I would love to thank the tourism department, Newport News tourism department, for such a wonderful luncheon this week at the Marriott. It was so good to see all of the restaurants, to showcase all of the restaurants that we have in our city, and the wonderful food. I sat beside Mabel, and we had such a great time to be able to set up. Oh, and the mayor was with us as well. And so to be able to see that the team works together to really showcase all of the great things we have for tourism here in Newport News. And like Ms. Sample Jones talked about, the East End Business Expo at Brooks Crossing was excellent. It was so good to see all of the energy there and the businesses who had come together to really showcase showcase their businesses, but work with other businesses as well to show them the ropes on how to start women-owned businesses locally, working with the SCC and the Small Business Association. It was good to have everything under one umbrella so that if anybody wanted to start a business, they could get all the information there. So a great job and well done. And I have to say, this last thing, I have to say, this year, our Newport News schools started middle school football. And so the games were held this year, but the championship was Saturday. The championship game was between the Huntington Vikings and the Ella Fitzgerald Jazz. And so I have to say the Huntington Vikings were victorious. And so it was so great to see that. And I cannot forget to be able to say kudos and congratulations to my grandson, number 3, Tyson Carter, for being one of the lead quarterbacks on the team. So congratulations. It was so historic to be there at Todd Stadium because they let those young guys play at Todd Stadium. And the synergy that was there, they even brought out a huge trophy, just like the NFL Super Bowl. And they even had medals to put around each of the team members' neck. And I felt like, as we discuss keeping kids out of crime, those are some of the things that are added to the sports world that help our children at an early age be able to position themselves and know their worth and their talent to be able to continue on a path for success. So that was wonderful to be able to experience that. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Yes. The mayor says it often. Usually when you're at the tail end of the comments, you know, you kind of piggybacking off of what is said, but it's okay. I echo those same sentiments that all of my colleagues have shared. I think we know how important it is grassroots organizations are to the fabric of what we're trying to do here, especially in the city, and bringing everyone together. And so when you have folks that are boots to the ground, I mean, you all know everything that's going on already. And as someone who truly understands that work, you know, I commend you all 1,000% and look forward to seeing how we can collaborate even further. Mr. McCaskill, Mrs., you know, I've known you since I was a college student, so embracing a young, I wasn't always bald, but a young guy with some hair, you know, I was all over the place, but it was because of elders like you and the rest of the Thursday morning breakfast group that have looked out for me. And so legendary Pooh Johnson, I mean, Marcella said it, Tina said it, we all know how legendary you are, sir, but I just want you to know you are a true inspiration. Every time I see you, I know the stories. I was probably too young back then, but the legend of you continues to travel through the generations. So just want to say thank you for being here. And last piece, I think there is no better way to honor God and confess your love for someone than in a public setting during a wedding. And so for you, Mr. Mayor, the wedding was beautiful. It was awesome, not only as your vice mayor, but as your friend. I say congratulations to you and Dr. Winter, Dr. Jones. It truly was special, and I was grateful to be there and witness. So that is all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Everyone has said a lot of things. I'll touch on things that weren't said, but I just want to say thank you to everyone who came out, to the legends, to the bridge builders in the room. We appreciate all you've done for our community. I wanted to give a shout out to Aaron Lynn, the valedictorian from Woodside, who was a Gates Scholar, who has a full ride to Yale University. I think when you look at Newport News public school system, like that is what we produce. We produce people who go to Yale and who are Gates Scholars. So it's not quite Harvard, but we'll give it to him. So I just want to say to Aaron, congratulations, and we'll be sending you a letter from the mayor's office here pretty soon. I hope everyone enjoyed Memorial Day weekend, and as a reminder, it's a day to honor those who gave that last full measure of devotion. And so I wanted to give a shout out to Captain Mo Naviz, who was killed in action against the Islamic State in southern Iraq, and to all of my Naval Academy brothers and sisters whose names are on Memorial Hall. We do miss you and think of you every day, but Memorial Day weekend as well. And last but not least, a thank you to Chief Drew and NPD, as well as the Riverside team who responded this past weekend. To all first responders, we thank you. It was handled in the most professional way, and we appreciate you, Chief. And with that, we stand adjourned. Thank you.